All right, and here's Brooke Pryor, who joins us, covers the Steelers for us so well. And Brooke, the O-line, which we've talked about so much here, the offensive line's been an issue in the early games. And then, of course, there's Roethlisberger's performance, especially against the Packers. How much of this can be traced to the offensive line, and how much of it do we believe is about the quarterback?
Look, Greeny, looking at the stats from Sunday, this performance was more on Roethlisberger. He was pressured only 7% of throws, and he was hit just 5 times. Yet that time to throw, one that was already the fastest in the league, dropped even more, suggesting that he was getting the ball out of his hands maybe faster than he needed to, and plays weren't developing downfield, didn't have the time to develop downfield because he got the ball out so fast. And Himbo actually hit me with a couple stats right before this. Did you know Ben is the 30th ranked quarterback this season, throwing from a clean pocket, just a 47.7 QBR. It's not good. This, to me, suggests that the problem is more Roethlisberger. And he even said, look, I dropped my elbow on a couple throws, and that was leading to some inaccuracies. But like Mike Tomlin said, everything is fixable. Roethlisberger's just got to figure it out fast.
Yeah, and you're right, because it's getting late out here, or it's actually getting late early out here. I always get that one backwards. In the meantime, there has been some suggestion that perhaps the Steelers would be better off putting someone else on the field. How would you assess the chances that we reach a point somewhere where Mike Tomlin actually has to go to the bench?
You know, maybe somewhere. I don't see that happening until late in the season, though. And one thing Tomlin said in that answer about what's fixable is the mobility thing. Yes, Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins are more mobile because they're younger, but it's not like there's like a Kyler Murray option on the bench that they can go to. And at this point, they feel like Roethlisberger is still the best guy for the job. He just has to fix those things that Tomlin mentioned. But it's funny, you know, as much as Tomlin is sticking with his quarterback, I'm standing out here earlier, we've got this trail behind me. It means I talk to a lot of fans as they're coming by. And one guy stopped and he said, look, I've got all the faith in Ben, but sometimes you have to move on. The Steelers aren't thinking that right now, but there is some growing discomfort here in Pittsburgh.
That's a good way to put it. Outstanding work as always. Brooke Pryor, thank you for getting up here. Let me bring the crew in, and let me go to my quarterback here first. Tim Hasselbeck, you just heard those statistics that we went through here, that even when he's not getting pressured, Roethlisberger has not been successful. What, through a quarterback's eyes, are you seeing with the issues here, and are they fixable quickly?
Yeah, look, I don't think that Ben's been perfect. I'm not going to sit here and say that, you know, there aren't throws, especially this past weekend, that feel like he should have made or we've seen him make. That being said, we can put some other stats out there as well. Guess who's run the ball the fewest time in the National Football League? The Pittsburgh Steelers. They've called 66 runs. Actually, that's not even true. They've had 66 rush attempts, which includes quarterback runs, through 4 games. Like, that's terrible. They are the worst rushing team in the National Football League. The Patriots rushed for -1 yards this past weekend, and Pittsburgh Steelers fewer rushing yards than they do. Like, they're not doing a good job helping their 39-year-old quarterback. So, you know, I know we are so focused on Ben. That's what happens. The quarterback gets all the blame. He's going to get the credit when they're doing well. But the reality is they are one-dimensional, and it makes no sense for them to be one-dimensional at this point. So can they fix it? Yeah, look, Denver and Seattle ahead. They could be 3-3 going into a bye week with some type of recommitment to figuring out how to run the football somewhat.
Although that Denver defense may not be exactly what you're looking for when you're struggling offensively, it'll be interesting to see that game. It's a big game this weekend. But, Booger, how do you see it? I got people writing off the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to write them off, Greeny. I mean, what have you seen to write them on or write them up? I mean, the defense, if it doesn't carry the team and be dominant, then the team is not going to be able to stay in many games. But that defense is good. Mike Tomlin is a really good football coach. So this team is going to be competitive, but competitive is not what we're used to with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're used to excellence. And when you come to the offense has been anything but excellent. We've all stated the same things. The offensive line is not good. They can't run the football. So the things that the Rooney family wanted to do this offseason, which is be physical, fix the line of scrimmage, and get back to that Steeler blue-collar way, they can't do it. Big Ben is a shell of himself. He's not accurate anymore. He doesn't throw the football with the same oomph that he used to. He's not mobile at all. The Big Ben we know used to stand in the pocket and shrug off defenders and make those long throws down the field. Now, with all that being said, Mike Tomlin knows he's their best option. Who are you going to put out there? You're going to put Mason Rudolph out there? You're going to put Dwayne Haskins out there? Mike Tomlin is a Hall of Fame coach, guys. Hall of Fame coach. Mike Tomlin knows and sees practice every single day. So he knows, regardless of Big Ben's flaws, which we've all stated them on this show, he knows that Big Ben is the best option. And that's the sad part, because their best option is not an option good enough to get them in the winning circle. And I think that's the issue that we all have with the Steelers.
And quickly, Nick, it does bring up a question that teams sometimes face, and it's a complicated one. How do you deal with the aging legend if at some point the reason he's out there is just because of everything he's done for us in the past? Is that really the best plan?
That's not good for him. That's not good for them. You want to go out on top. Everyone does, but you don't get to the place where you're this successful by having a firm grip on reality. I think Ben still thinks that he can do other things, but the type of success we've seen from aging quarterbacks is not the type of quarterback that Ben ever was, frankly.
Well, so the interaction between Ben and his coach last week was actually not the most interesting one that took place between a quarterback and Mike Tomlin last week. Aaron Rodgers, you saw the game. You saw this moment. Rodgers trying to quick count the Steelers. Mike Tomlin called a timeout. The respect between look at the way they're looking at each other. That is a lot of respect. Aaron Rodgers was asked about it yesterday by our buddy McAfee. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.